OMG. You guys, you probably saw her when we were in Orlando premiere. You've probably seen her online for her micro salon fabulousness. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Laura Elizabeth finally on the Beauty
Crowd
Pro
goes
podcast.
wild. I was just telling my husband, he's like, who are you podcasting with? I'm like, oh my God, the story, I feel like such a jerk. I no-showed her 20 minutes before, which isn't a no-show, but it's a cancellation. I felt really bad about it. And then I never rebooked until I saw her in Florida. So
Totally fine. I'm a very forgiving person.
you are. No, I am very grateful for your forgiveness and for your understanding. It was a total like drop the ball mom moment, overcommitted, did not put on my calendar, and I'm so sorry.
Hey, but you know what? Like, we work and serve people all day long. Like, it's understandable. Like, seriously, we all have lives outside of the salon. So, like, let's just be real and raw, right? So, it's fine. All good. You're here now. So, everybody who doesn't know who you are, please tell them and why they should know you.
Thank you. Well, my name is Laura Elizabeth, as I clear my voice. I am a hairstylist. I always start with that. I'm a hairstylist behind the chair still. I love working with women who have thinning hair. I do a lot of work with toppers, extensions, transformative color. I also own.
I did not know you did a lot of toppers. Okay.
A lot. I love them. I've been doing them for, oh gosh, 20 years. So I'm like an OG topper girl that just doesn't talk about it a whole lot, but I love the work that I get to do. And that whole industry is blowing up and I'm very excited about it. And then I own and operate a micro salon. It is a commission-based salon with a very independent structure where they get freedoms of having their own autonomy, running essentially their own business within the business confines or constructs that we've created. So we get to co-collaborate on allowing them to grow their business alongside of ours within ours. And then I also do business coaching for stylists who are independent artists wanting to grow with either an assistant or move into scaling as a micro salon.
That is so good. All of it. I don't know if you've seen my latest reel on Instagram, but I'm pretty sure I just went viral and I don't know what to do about it. It's pretty nerve-wracking, but it was talking about exactly what you said about your micro salon, in that they're commissioned, but then they also have a lot of freedoms. So can you just elaborate a little bit on that? Because lots of people online are losing their freaking minds over this.
I will jump in and find your post, because I will probably like maybe do a duo or something with that, because I love ruffling feathers. I love really bucking the norm, and I'm finding there's more salon owners who are doing this type of work. Can you hear me okay? I feel like
Yes, I can hear
perfect.
you. Yeah.
So there's a lot of salon owners that I think are going in this venture and it's becoming normalized, but there's a lot of OG salon owners that are feeling this doesn't feel like how I was raised. And I was that kid, right? I've been doing hair for 24, 25 years and was raised in a very corporate structured salon that you did things a certain way. You had a very low compensation structure. You were requested and required to work a ton of hours for free and always be available. And it really was hard, because looking back, it taught me a lot. I learned how to be a hard worker, and I learned how to overcome seasons that felt really strenuous. But I also knew like that doesn't have to be the entry path to all new baby stylists coming into our industry. So as I left my last commission salon, which I only worked at 2 my entire career, I'm like an OG. Like once I get in bed with you, I'm like there for a long time. So I love to help grow other businesses. I know, a little taboo, but I took a couple things that I loved about working commission salons: the team, the growth, the ability to have someone literally mentor you and guide you. But then there was a lot of things that I wanted to get rid of and remake that worked for what I could see being the future for the stylists that wanted to do something kind of, as I call it, a hybrid. And it's not a hybrid of a pay structure. It's not a hybrid of they can go between rental or commission. Like it is commission, but what we provide and give and what freedoms they get is just so different than what I was raised in. And I believe in unlimited time off, as long as you're not disrupting your client schedules. There's a whole system and protocol to that allows stylists to request that time. I believe in the ability to have education provided because it is a commission structure. As an owner, I set up my structures to make a profit and have money set aside for their education. So that goes back towards them. I give them the ability of being able to hit different raises as often as they want because we built a structure that allows them to actually grow at a regulated pace and not have to wait an entire year of being like, did I get a raise this year? So I just wanted to I wanted something that created motivation, most importantly, like self-leadership within their own. I hear something.
Do you hear my, that's my Roomba. I'm so sorry.
It's like a spaceship was taking off.
I know. Oh, I'm so sorry. I really thought the mic was like going to be better than that.
You were so chill. I'm like,
we are multitasking. Yeah, because I am not going to let on. Yeah, I have a Roomba and it just finished and it's been going off like all day. And it's like, what is happening? Anyway, so sorry. I hate that thing.
That is totally fine. At least it doesn't run over. Like I had a friend who it ran over their dog's doo-doo.
No, that is,
yeah, disgusting.
I would die.
So we don't have one, but we should have one. So anyway, it was really just development things that I would have wanted if I was a stylist like 15 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. So where did you get inspired to kind of create that? Was it somebody specific? Was it just like, I'm a genius and I'm going to do this? Or like who kind of planted that seed for you to have this new forward way of thinking for your salon?
That's a good question. So when I went out and became an independent artist, I had a 2-chair studio. I had one renter who joined me like a couple months after I opened and an assistant. And that was like the baby beginning stages of learning how to run a business. And that first year I did great, but I also realized that everything fell in raw. Like everything was on my shoulders and it felt stressful. So at that point, I think there was another stylist in my building who had been renting 2 studios. She had a small team. I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. Like she doesn't have to go and open a full salon. She can do it in this type of environment. It almost makes me think of like renting a condominium and running a business. Like you get best of both worlds where you don't have to have a storefront and be open 7 days a week, but you get the ability of having something curated, something intentional, something small. That particular person went on to opening a salon. And I was like, I don't want that. I know what goes into opening a full salon, at least in my area, because expenses here are very high. And I just personally don't want that pressure on myself to have to carry the weight of that, knowing that I still like to be behind the chair. I like intimacy in a small team personally. And it just, to me, it fits my life right now. I would never say never, but for now, that's not where I want that to be. So knowing what I wanted and what I didn't want, I just decided to like scale within my financial means and then grow at the capacity that I could afford. And that meant staying in a studio and growing into a 2-chair to then a 3-chair to then a 5-chair, and just doing it slowly. That it felt good for me and what we were doing and growing. So part of it was witnessing someone do something like that and then taking ideas and just birthing them and trying them out.
And I feel like a lot of stylists, a lot of salon owners, they feel rushed. Do you know, like, oh, I'm an owner. Oh, I got to rush. I got to get 3 girls. I got to, with like a full clientele. I got to do this. I got to do that. It's okay to like slow it down and work at your own pace with what works for you. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I did. I bootstrapped the whole thing. Like everything was paid by cash, literally cash. I never once put anything on a loan or a credit card. If anything, I might have done like loans. Like I put things on cards as it got bigger, like education investments and such. Yeah. But that was what felt good for me. Like, I'm not saying I did it right or wrong. I'm sure there's faster ways to scale, but that's just what worked for what I was wanting and what I felt comfortable growing with it.
Yeah. You see, you got to know yourself. That seems to be the key. So with that, what's the common myth that you get all the time about what you do?
You know, I think what I hear a lot, and it's interesting because I look to salon owners for inspiration and advice, mentorship, because I love to bring things into our business that inspire me in that capacity. And I still, and it surprises me, but I get met with that, like, well, why don't you just like open your own salon because you're already running one? Why don't you just look for a property to buy versus leasing a building? So I kind of get met with like, why aren't you thinking bigger than you are? And my response to that is like, we're generating a really great revenue with the expenses that we have. There's a decent amount. Like I have a monthly, I track my numbers like a hawk, and like I know my profits, and it's very cushy right now and it feels really comfortable. So to me, like I don't feel the need to have to go and prove anything just to have something that makes someone else feel like that's valid and what you're doing is not. And it's funny that I come across that still, but that's just, an opinion from somebody else who had a different experience than I.
Okay. I just want everybody watching and listening to like feel so good. I feel so good with what like you're saying your experience, but I have so much permission to do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate that from you and everybody who's listening and watching. Like Laura just gave you the most biggest permission slip in the world. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like for real. Like I know with my own coaching, and I did have a couple calls this morning, like that seems to be the big hurdle for a lot of salon owners is they just need that permission slip to just do what works for them whenever it works for them.
And I think if you honestly, most stylists that I have worked with, when I dive into numbers, excuses just bubble up. It's like, I didn't know what I was doing, and I've not looked at them in months, and I don't even know what a profit and loss statement is. And it's a lot of like a almost identity work around imposter syndrome is what really comes up. And I think if our industry is just taught to be emotionally detached from what does a P&L spreadsheet look like and how does it help you to make better decisions, I think that we would be able to choose wisely and not feel pressure into investing in something that feels too stretchy. Like I think making stretchy investments are very fundamental in business growth, but you have to be intentional about what those are. And that comes down to where your space is. Like, do you want to lease a micro salon studio, or do you want to lease a storefront, or do you want to buy a building? Like, what is your funds and what's your availability? How stretchy do you want to go? And what is your business plan to back that up? And even small things like what product do you want to invest in? Like how much money do you have to invest into your product wall and not feel pressure to do it because everybody else is doing it? Like how much funds do you have to do that? And what is your return going to be? I think if we all looked at business from a business standpoint and not just an emotional FOMO standpoint, or this is what I see everyone else doing, it will give everyone permission to make better choices for their business and not put them in a position of financially feeling broke or like they owe, like they're in debt to the business for years to come.
Yeah. All right. What has been your biggest failure that taught you everything, and how did you overcome it?
As a micro salon owner or as a hairstylist?
As whatever you want, personal, professional, like it is all together.
Oh my gosh. I can like look back on the last, like I've been in business for myself for 6 years, and it wasn't a failure. It felt like one in the moment, but it was a big like regrouping. And honestly, I think when I found out I was pregnant, I was only 2 years into owning my business, and I was like scaling really fast. I was hiring really fast, and I had this idea of what it was going to look like, but I didn't put the numbers on paper. And when I left on mat leave and I took time away and came back, the business had a loss. And I knew how to pick up the pieces and get it back on track. But being sleep deprived, a new mom, having to fire team members and lose team members, that was like, wow, I had like a masterclass in ownership 101. And it wasn't a failure, but it definitely was a lot of hard work to pick things up and then regroup to allow myself to have the time and capacity to like get back on track. And it took about a year and a half to like really feel like, okay, my momentum's back. We're good to keep moving forward.
With that being said, like you're a new mom, you have postpartum probably, right? Like you're going through all of these heavy emotions, hormones. Like how what can you tell the women listening and watching, like, to overcome that? Because that's a lot. That is a lot for anybody to deal.
Yeah, it is a lot. And it's something that we don't talk about in the industry. Like our industry, I don't even know stats on this, but I know we're probably like 98% women dominated, like the 5% of
Yeah.
men,
Yeah.
the 3% of men, if I can do my math right, are like the ones that are actually like educating. Cause I
Yeah.
feel like most men educate at some point.
Yeah.
So we're very female dominated. And if I look into the numbers of how many women actually have babies and children, that's probably a large percentage of that as well too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something we just assume we're going to figure out. And, you know, I think a lot of women, even if we break this down into the women that have financial support by a spouse, a partner, and those that
Mm-hmm.
don't, there's probably a
Mm-hmm.
large percentage of us that don't have financial support beyond our own means. So, you know, I think like to answer that question, like the one side of the coin is like financial peace when you're going through that is like plan ahead the best of your ability,
Yeah.
save up money
Yeah.
and put it in a savings account.
Mm-hmm.
Set yourself up with like whatever means you need of like a short-term disability plan if you want to get health insurance. There's things that you can do to be financially stable. But then on the back end of it, I think what was the hardest part for me besides money was the immediate identity switch that I had to make from being a serial entrepreneur of hairstyling and salon ownership to a mom. And that felt so polarizing. It felt like impossible to blend back together, especially when they're infants and little. So, like, my biggest piece of advice is if you can plan financially the best of your ability, do so. Um, Plan to have time away from your job and like truly disconnect. Like, do not give clients permission to just be messaging you while you're on mat leave.
Yeah.
And then give yourself a return date. I didn't have a return date and I regret that. So give yourself a return date so clients know, oh, she is coming back. I can make an appointment. And then be really gentle with yourself. Like, you don't know how you're going to respond. I didn't know I was going to go into postpartum depression. I didn't know that it was going to feel like my life was falling apart for like a year and a half. Like, it was really just like a vulnerable, like sensitive time. But it was such a season of growth and just learning like a human to care for. And I love this human more than I love my business. And I can
Mm-hmm.
make this look really like I can unite these two things. It just took time to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What's a current struggle you're going through?
Current struggles feels vulnerable. I haven't talked about this a lot. And I don't really know how much I'm going to talk open up about it. Not that I'm closed. I'm never a closed book. But I think like the pivot of figuring things out, like putting something on and taking it off, always feels like for me hard because I'm like, oh, it felt good and I had it on, but it's sometimes you outgrow what that thing is. So I feel like I'm in a season right now of outgrowing certain roles that I didn't think I was going to outgrow.
Mm.
And there's a little bit of there's not fear in like, am I going to be like successful? It's fear in what does that mean about me if I put that down? How am I going to make this look if I put that down and I pivot into something similar but different than what I've either spoken about or what I thought I believed really deeply in, but now I have a second, I have a different viewpoint on. Like,
Yeah.
I think that is just, I think it's something in our industry that I don't know if anyone's like me. Like, I sometimes get into something and I make it such my identity for such a long time. I was an educator with an extension company for such a long time. It
Mm.
was hard for me to put that identity down. It took me like 3 years of thinking it, accepting it, and finally laying it to rest before I could actually step away from it. So
Yeah.
I have a hard time of putting things down that I loved but outgrew.
So we're pivoting. That is another theme that's been happening since Orlando. We
Mm-hmm.
are pivoting. Okay. Okay. Can you give us a sneak peek onto what this next version of you will be?
I think I'm so new into it. I mean, it's not that different. It's not that different, to
Okay.
be honest.
Okay.
I think what I'm paying attention to, and I've had this like conversation with my creator quite a bit about this,
Oh, I
is
love it. Amen. Okay.
mhm.
Okay, girl.
What are the things that light you up and expand you? And what are the things that drain you? And it was like a really big message I got last week after returning home from Orlando, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And then this last weekend, I went to an event, the summer solstice event that my friend Brittany Carmichael hosted. And it's just like, it's paying attention. It's like, I was just like, what am I supposed to do? Like, where am I at? Like, can you just like send me like a message on a piece of paper?
Yeah. Can you just tell me, because I'm tired of this patient thing? Like, it sucks. Yeah, I hear you. I got you.
Waiting in the hallway sucks.
Yeah.
He's always guiding us if we're quiet
Yeah.
enough. But
That's right.
I think like I'm so in the new stages of this, I don't really know how to articulate it yet, but I feel it's a shift. It's a shift happening.
Okay.
I find myself lit up by podcasting, public speaking, sharing my story, teaching. I think a teacher has always been in my blood since I was even in like beauty school. I remember sitting in the classroom at beauty school and watching a guest speaker come in and being like, wow, they get to like motivate and inspire people like me. Like, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. Little did I know, like 7 years later, I'd be doing the same thing with an education company, and it lit me up. Like, it's the following those breadcrumbs of things that really do allow you to shine your gifts and paying attention to what those gifts are. And I'm realizing there's certain rules that I've taken on that I don't love. Like, they really drain me, and they make me feel like, can someone take this from me? And I'm like, okay, Laura, that's probably a sign. That's probably like a little nudge from God being like, hey, remember that time I told you to like pay attention to things that lit you up and things that drained you? Like, that's one of them.
Yeah. And he definitely, God has a way of pushing us into what convicts us, and to the point, like, okay, I'm feeling this, I gotta obey, right? Because then something else is going to happen if we don't obey to his call. And I know for me, from what you're saying, like, we all have special gifts and talents that God has given us, and it is our responsibility to maximize those gifts and talents, So it's very exciting. I'm very excited to see what happens in the next 6 months, in the next year for you. That's exciting.
Yeah, it feels exciting. Like, I feel like I'm getting more of those like what's the word I'm looking for? Convictions, or even just confirmations of like, that's where you're supposed to be. Or at least try it out. My husband's like, at least try it out. And if you don't like it, you can always go back. I'm like, this is true.
That's true. That's true. I don't know why we get so like hung up about like, oh no, girl, just go back to what you're doing. It's fine. Right. How do you nourish yourself in these moments of pivoting? Because you've done it already quite a few times. You're on the brink of another one. How do you fill your own cup up?
I have to, so here's the interesting part that I've noticed, and this has happened before. Sometimes when I'm in the midst of pivoting, I look outwards for the answers, and that includes social media and overconsumption. And when I'm paying attention and I catch myself doing that, I'm like, Laura, you're avoiding the pivot right now. Stop. That's not nurturing yourself.
Avoiding the pivot.
You're draining yourself right now. You're just allowing your energy to go away.
Yeah.
So I, honestly, physical movement, working out, feeling like breathing, praying, spending time with God.
Yeah.
Getting grounded and centered, and just, this is something too that has come up a lot, and this might trigger some people listening. So I don't mean to come across as positioning myself in a manner that is better than, or this is the way. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm a very open book. I definitely feel like everyone has their path and they have to figure that out. But I feel like I also gave a lot of my energy away to a lot of like spiritual nuances for the last 5 years, when like 2020 happened, and then all these like healing things came up, and lots of Zoom calls and crystals and all this stuff. And nothing wrong with that. I think everyone has, if that's your place to find your centering, that's wonderful. But I found myself even more pulled away from that and back into just like more beliefs for myself. Again, I'm not going to make this about like a whole ministry, but for things for me that feel really grounded and centered and where my identity is found. And it's not outside of myself, and it's not even within my own highest self. It's within my creator, and really following what that looks like. And like you said, being obedient to that.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, this podcast, anything goes. You can say whatever you want fearlessly. Just, I want to make that very clear to anybody watching and listening. Okay. That's very cool that you're listening to your personal convictions. Okay. Your confirmations that you are getting. That's so vital. And I feel like if more beauty and barber pros had that cornerstone of whatever it is, their own belief system, the industry would probably look a little bit more put together because they're all like kind of going with their convictions, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed. Yep.
So what do you, with that, because that is like more spiritual realm and all that stuff, what has been your biggest insult that you've ever gotten that you love that you got it and it has been a driver for you?
Former boss. Oh my gosh, the former boss. So, this is a story that I actually shared recently at a keynote that I presented last year. It's
Okay.
the first time I've publicly really talked about it. I think I made an Instagram post like once,
Sure.
and people, like certain people like who knew the situation it landed with, but like it also like I just feel like I have not really overshared it because I never want to villainize somebody.
Right.
And I will never share a name. Like I'm never gonna like say who it is.
No,
But
no, no.
a person I worked for previously, it's so funny. Like I kind of almost forget the story because it's like I made peace with it when I presented my keynote last year.
That's a good
So
sign. That's a very
yeah.
good sign. Good for you. Okay.
So I'm crafting this keynote. This is the interesting part. And this particular part of the story is put into the keynote. I didn't go into crazy detail, but it was a very profound moment in my life. And I'm working with a coach, and we're talking about this particular story. The next day, I'm at the mall looking for an outfit for the keynote. And I literally was leaving the store and I physically almost ran into this person. And I was like, oh God, they're there. And this person locked eyes with me and I locked eyes with them. And they just turned their head and acted like I wasn't even there. And I was like, I wasn't even bothered. I wasn't triggered. My heart didn't even skip a beat. There was no reaction. I was just like, all right, I'm supposed to share this story.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
5 years later too. So it was like a long time had passed. But this particular person, I was coming to them because I was working for them and I was going down the whole avenue of like life coaching and figuring myself out and healing
Yeah.
traumas. And I realized like I really loved helping stylists build a really great business. It came very naturally to me. I did it really well in a commission salon. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I want to teach more people how to do this. Like, it's really not that hard. And other people, I feel like, were struggling. So I was like, I had the courage and I was like, hey, can I speak with you? I really want to share something that's on my heart. And I would just love to, like, essentially have your blessing. And I thought she was going to say, sorry, I thought they were going to say, tomorrow, I'm really busy right now. And they said, oh, let's go chat right now. And I was like, oh, goodness, I am not ready.
Like, oops. Okay.
So I wasn't ready to share, but I shared anyway. And I told this person, I just really have been thinking about this and I've been working on myself. And I really want to get into coaching and helping stylists grow their business and to make a 6-figure salary. This is back in like 2017,
That
I
is
think
that
2018.
that year was so big. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
It was really big.
2017. Yeah.
So that's when like the Brit Siva was coming out and
Yes.
Jamie Dana and like online coaching was like starting to blow up before 2020.
Yeah.
So I planted this seed like 2 years before that. And she heard me. She looked at me and she said, Laura, nobody here likes you and they don't respect you. In order for you to be heard, you need to be respected. And at that point, I had been working in this person's business for probably 5 years. I was generating over $200,000 in revenue a year. I was traveling, I was teaching, I was a mentor in the business to the younger talent. I had already been doing all of that and they just completely shot me down. Like my eyes just welled up with tears, my throat closed up. And I was like, oh God, what did she just say to me? Nobody here likes me. I went to my car after we talked about it and I just bawled. Like I ugly cried for probably an hour. And
Chills. Like I
it
have
was
chills right now. Like, oh,
it
oh.
was so like it honestly took almost like a year for me to build the courage to actually launch my coaching business because I
Yeah.
felt so unvalidated.
Yeah.
So I had to work through a lot of stuff with that. I never built my business because of her. I would never do that because that's not where I find my like motivation from is to be like, I'm
Mhm.
going to show you.
Mhm.
But if anything, it really was the turning point for me to not put so much weight into what other people think of me.
That's why at the beginning of our chat, You were like, I'm doing things the way that it works for me. That's where it comes from, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, girl. So did that person just fire you then? Were you fired at that moment? Because like
No.
how do
Here's
you
the
tell
crazy
somebody
part.
that?
This person acted like they never said anything to me. They never apologized. They actually went to one of my best friends at that salon and told them what happened and validated why they said it. And it was like it never was discussed till about a year later, maybe a year later, during I think one of our like parties, she approached me after drinking and told me that she never said sorry, but she was like, what I said to you last year changed you for the better, and you're better because of it.
So it was a Simon Cowell moment. Thank you for being the Simon Cowell in my life. I appreciate you. Okay.
So that's just where we're at with that.
Hey,
So I worked there for a couple more years and then I left.
kudos for you. Oh my. I would have been like, huh, okay, I guess I should pack up my stuff now. See you later. Wow.
I mean, looking back, I probably would do that now, but in the moment, I was just very sensitive and I was still working on myself.
Yeah. Totally fair. Totally fair.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. That was a good one. All right. What do you tell like stylists coming to work for you, stylists in general that you coach? What do you tell them is the trait that they need to make it in this business?
Why you're laughing? I think this is so funny. You're
Because we just had that story and it's like I'm asking this follow-up question and it's like, I don't know, tough skin, but like I don't want to put words in your mouth.
What do I tell them if they're going to come coach with me or come work for me?
Yeah, like what do beauty and barber pros like? What's the trait that they need to work in this business for you in general?
That's a great question. You know, I've never had an employee ask me that question. Like, what are you looking for? It's so funny. I know what I'm looking for when I'm hiring. It's gonna hold on a second because it's like a hard worker, of course, comes to mind, but that's not really what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think like personally, like dedication. Like you have to be dedicated to your craft, dedicated to learning your craft, dedicated to showing up for your craft, dedicated to having excellent customer service, dedication with coaching students of like, I want to change my business. I want to learn things to do. I want to do things better. Like I'm dedicated to like growing. I think if anything, like I ask that of myself. I'm always asking myself and auditing myself, how can I do better? How can I be a better leader? How can I provide better customer service? How can I be a better communicator? And it's not to like be better than anyone else, but it's better than who I was like yesterday or a month ago or a year ago. Because if I'm not growing, how can I ask my team to grow? If I'm not growing, how can I ask my students to grow? Like I'm always thinking like, oh man, I could have said that nicer, or I could have said that softer, or I could have said that more direct. And it's just because I know that those things are really important to the evolution of really, it's like that. I'm in love with finding the growth to like the path to growth. Like I'm obsessed with it. And it's not even like the destinations. I don't even know where the destination takes me. It's about the path and where, like, who I get to meet and like friends I get to connect with and people I get to help. Like, it's those things that like really like to, again, that's I feel like my assignment here on earth is to like be the person that does that for herself and show other people that they can do it too.
Inspire others to do what
to take action.
Good for you.
Get uncomfortable.
Who are the three most important / influential in your life or that you look up to?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I could list off educators that I admire. Is that more the question, or is it more about like who influences me?
Whatever, however you want to take it, because what we do is so intertwined with our personal life. Like it all connects.
It's so true. So I will say, like, I feel like it comes from like different areas. So like physical is
Mm.
like, I'm a Peloton girl. So I love like riding with Tunde. I love lifting with Robin. Like I have a couple people that I love the way they speak. I love the way they coach. I love the way that they motivate me. I love how they physically look like they're strong badasses. Like
Yeah.
I think like that is one element of like how I nurture that part of myself of like
Hmm.
physical wellness and wholeness. I
Yes.
think when it comes down to being in a salon, I look up to, oh my gosh, there's so many educators that I just admire their work, like
Yeah.
physical work of being behind the chair, of like extension artistry and color artistry, like Sam Villa, obviously a
Of course. Yeah.
phenomenal cutter, phenomenal educator, phenomenal motivator. Like I looked at so many people in our industry. Nina Tulio is one of my like OG faves.
Yes.
She's amazing because she's so motivating and she puts herself out there and she's got anxiety and
I
yet she
love
still
her.
does it, right? She still stretches herself. So I look in our industry for people who inspire me. Even one of my longtime coaches, Elizabeth Fay. Like there's so many people I could list off for like in the industry because our industry is so full of inspiring human beings.
Yeah.
And then, you know, at the other side of it, spiritual, I mean, I think just I'm going to bring it back to God. Like I
Yeah.
spend time within my devotionals and I spend time with my creator and I find my wholeness in that. So I think from those three areas, spiritual, physical, and like my art,
Yeah.
I kind of find a lot of my guidance through those areas.
That's beautiful. What working in the industry, we learn a lot about people, about relationships, right? I mean, obviously how to talk to somebody else. Like we learn those things. But for you, what has been that one lesson that people who don't work in the industry that they just don't understand?
The one lesson answer, or I'm sorry, ask that question one more
What's
time.
the one lesson that you have learned working in this industry that you wish other people who are not in the industry would learn and would get?
Mm. If I were to be speaking to somebody outside our industry, like what we do isn't just hair. It's
Mhm.
not just making someone physically beautiful.
Right.
It touches so much deeper than that.
Mhm.
We get to be a part of someone's life. We get to have like longevity within their family. We get to be a space holder. We get to be reciprocated by money by this. Like it really is, we're just uniquely created that we get the ability to use a craft to get paid well, to build a business, to connect and build friendships and deeper purpose along the way. Like there's a reason why those of us who stay in it for as long as we do stay in it, because yes, there can be a lot of like money made in it, but it's at the end of the day, like it is so much more. Like I can list off dozens of clients that I've had connections with for dozens of years, that even if I've moved out of state, I could text them and they would respond to me. Like it's such a beautiful industry of connection. And we get to create in so many different ways and we get to make money in a million different ways. Like I've had clients ask me like, you know, if you were not to be doing hair, what would you do? I go, I would still be in the industry. I just would be doing
Yeah.
something different. I would find
Yeah.
something different because I love our industry so much. I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine not being in our industry.
That is the word that you're talking and I'm like, it's connection.
Mm-hmm.
Connection. Like
Mm-hmm.
for example, like for us, you and me personally, like it took that moment at premiere to be like, "Oh my god, let's connect." Like for real, you know? And
Yep.
that like I used to work in the legal side, I used to work in the PR side, the marketing, and that just doesn't happen, you know? And it should because those are like big time industries, but that for what we do, the beauty industry, like it is so incredibly unique. And like you, like I don't see myself going anywhere
Yeah.
else.
Well, if you think about who we all were in high school, I don't want to say all
Yeah.
of us, but most of us were like the misfits. Like I had
Yes.
short black hair and I wore a spiky collar and like I was such an emo girl or
Yeah.
gothic at the time because emo wasn't
Yeah.
even a thing. That's how
Yeah.
old I am. And I think like we were all just, most of us were just so odd. Like we just
Yeah.
had to find our path. Like, how can I make money and do something I love? I
Yeah.
think it's not always the norm now. I definitely see like some of the new talent coming out. I mean, they're gorgeous, they're put together,
Mhm.
they're focused, right?
Yeah.
Like balayage is making a ton of money now and extensions.
Yeah.
But I still think like we all really do share a commonality of just the love of the craft. And the more hairdressers I meet, the more of us, like I have dyslexia. Like I almost didn't graduate high school. I graduated high school and I had one more credit. I had to go back to finish summer school to get my diploma to graduate high school. So I walked the stage and didn't even get a diploma. Like it was a struggle. And I think a lot of us have like ADHD, dyslexia, learning disabilities. Like we were always told we weren't the smart ones, but like I never went to college. I have a salon. We're close to hitting our like $500,000 this year.
That
like you can't tell me that you can't do that without an education. Like I proved you all wrong. Like you can figure it out. You can learn on the job.
Yeah. And a lot of times the people who do go to college, they end up like that movie Along Comes Polly or Along Came Polly.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Like
so long.
I love that movie for this reason, because she was like the star student and then now she's like a hippie. You know what I mean?
Yep,
like,
yep.
What?
Exactly.
So yeah, whatever. Like I love that we can change that kind of perception for sure. What do you have going on in your world, in your salon, that people watching and listening can be a part of, that they can reach out to you, that they can connect with you further?
Within the salon or
within the salon with your coaching? Like what do you have that?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I'm like, oh, what do I have going on? So because I primarily, when I do talk with hairdressers, I speak from a place of like coaching and support. I do on my website, which I don't even know if there's an available link to it. I'll have to share it with you. There's tons of free downloads and assets. Whenever I'm consistent on social media, I love to overgive. To me, it's all about sharing different ways of like helping generate more revenue behind the chair, whether you're independent or want to scale the team or hire an assistant. So I have lots of things in regards to that from a coaching element aspect. Within the salon, this year actually is the first year that I got back into doing in-person education. So I haven't hosted my own class yet. I don't know when, but I probably will do something like that, specifically with education or with extensions or toppers. So that's on it's on the radar to do at some point when I can get my like organized brain together and figure that timeline out. But my next thing that I'll be promoting coming up in August will be my reopening to the micro salon method. I'm going to do a live teaching, which I haven't done that in years since I had my son. So I'll be walking a new class through the micro salon method and how to scale as an independent artist into a micro salon.
Love that. Yes. And this episode is coming just in time for that. So that is super. If you guys are watching or listening, go connect with Miss Laura on Instagram. Her links are going to be in the show notes. So get on that. What is, I'm trying to think, like, I have so much to ask. What is something, I think we covered like a lot of topics. What has been a question that I did not answer or I didn't ask you, and how would you have answered?
I have to ask me a question. Oh my goodness, that is a hard one. I've never been asked this question. Is that your natural hair color? No.
Okay. Okay.
It looks so good. Is that natural hair color? No, it's not. I color my hair, and I can tell you my formula later. I don't even know. I honestly, I color my hair with a million different things. So it's like sometimes it's Wella, sometimes it's Schwarzkopf, like who knows? Whatever I have at home. It's a ginger. I'm a light ginger. That's funny. No, honestly, we chatted about a lot. I'm like, I feel like I want to ask you questions. I need to have my own podcast.
Yeah,
do it. And ask you a million questions. No, you have great questions. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you.
I can't think of anything right now. I really can't.
Well, I love it. Well, that makes it that I did my job. So thank you.
You did do your job. You did your job really well. You asked phenomenal questions.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. So, Miss Laura, I am so happy, so honored, so privileged to have you on the BeautyPro podcast. I'm so excited for everybody to hear our chat, to see it on YouTube and Spotify. I can't wait to see what happens next in your world in Texas, by the way. Oh, Oh,
Me too. No, yeah, we're in Texas. We're in Frisco. It is like we're in the dead of summer. I'm not gonna lie. I'm from Canada. I've been here for 12 years. I am not used to this heat. It is
no.
so hot. Like disgusting how hot it is down here. And it's like I think a couple days ago it was 89. I'm like, it is not 89. It feels like 189 right now. It is so disgusting how hot it gets here. So anyway, I love to go to Canada. We're gonna go to Canada for the summer for about a week.
Good for you. Go to Canada. Like, I'm in Florida and we had a heat index this weekend of like 110. I don't know about you, but like I get these heat headaches. I call them heat headaches. And I'm just like drinking so much water, drinking so many like salt, those element things.
Yes.
Oh my, like, yeah, it's rough. It's rough living in the South.
It is. It is very. Are you from Texas? Are you from Florida originally?
I am from Florida, born and raised.
Wow.
So all of everybody listening from Florida, like, hey, but it's rough. It sucks.
It is so hot. It is so hot down there. I vacation there and then I leave after a week. So I'm like, it's too hot to stay here.
It's terrible. Anyways, okay, so that's a wrap on our episode today. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for everybody watching and listening. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go follow Laura, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.